Hello everybody, it's your pal Gracious Ava here, and welcome back to another chill speed paint video. This is a special little portrait for me because this one was a really fun artwork to work on. The concept is based on my favorite type of character designs I like to make, which is non-binary alien god like designs. I love making these type of designs, and I actually have a bigger video coming up all about that concept. But anyway, this was made for that same Pride art gallery I think I mentioned in my last chill speed paint video. And yeah, this is one of the artworks I am potentially thinking about submitting for that. So this character design is sort of like what I imagine like the god of being non-binary is, or something like that. At least my version of it, since being non-binary is different for everyone. This is sort of just like my interpretation of that. But yeah, it's a very androgynous like figure, very alien like, and I had a lot of fun with this. So I did the sketch in IBS Paint X, and before I even started making the drawing, I made like a whole mood board for the character and the artwork, and I had so much fun with making the mood board. I'll often not make mood boards or art reference boards for my artworks, even though I should. I've been actually trying to get better at that whenever I have an artwork in mind. Even if I have a good idea of what it's going to look like, I'll still try to get some reference for it, just in case, you know, just to make sure I have it all nice and nailed down. But yeah, a lot of the pictures I saved in my mood board were all like very pastel like pictures and color palettes, because I wanted this to be a very pastel artwork, a very light color artwork, and I think I did a really good job on that. I really like the outcome of this piece in particular. Yeah, I also added some like more, I guess, realistic anatomy to the face, especially these like eyelashes you'll see me do later on. I don't often do like the eyelash, like upper eyelash in a realistic way in my art style, because it doesn't mesh well with the way I draw eyes, specifically the irises. But this character isn't gonna have any like very defining irises, so it's perfectly fine here. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Later on, I'm going to be adding the colors. Right now we're just focusing on the line art. The line art was very fun for this. Love working on a piece where the line art is very fun. If the line art is fun, then I know the rest of the artwork is going to be really fun. For the character design themselves, I added a lot of things that I personally like when I draw non-binary characters like this, which is like lots of long hair, minimal clothing, if any at all, and very like inhuman features. Like this character has some, like I said, they don't have any irises. Instead, they're gonna have like solid color eyes that have like a little bit of like a suggestion of where the irises are going to be placed. I also was debating whether I wanted to give them cracks in the skin as if it's like made out of porcelain, or if I just wanted it to be like in the coloring phases, make it like shiny, because I wanted it to be like this skin that we're seeing isn't like really skin, but sort of like containing the true person underneath. It's sort of like a cage. I also added chains because I like drawing chains, and also for symbolism reason. That's fun. As you just saw, I began adding in the palette, and for the background colors, I went with a very pastel sunset vibe. And for the character themselves, I'm laying in the values right now, but I'm going to go with a very gold and purple palette to reference the non-binary flag. And the background also has colors referencing non-binary flag and also the trans flag with the pink and blue. And yeah, I also have the non-binary symbol on their chest, because that's you know, non-binary, gotta add that in there. I also gave them like horns and also little floating wings to sort of be like, you know, they're both an angel and a demon. Just like if you're non-binary, you could identify as both being a boy and a girl, or like neither one. It's a combination of them. Lots of symbolism in this that makes sense for me. I also gave them some like very artistic styled tears because I can. And I was planning on giving them some makeup as well, some very, very fanciful makeup. Yeah, I also added a lot of sparkles and shimmers to this piece because I love the idea of sparkles and shimmers. For their hair, I went with a very this is something I don't usually do in hair designs, but something I wanted to try here, where the underside of the hair is a different color to the rest. But I even took it a step further and made it a gradient, having it be lighter towards the top where their face was, in order for their face to be even more of the focal point than it already is. And later on, I'm even going to add some extra shine to that part of the hair to make it even more glowy and fun. And yeah, for the rendering of this later on as well, I'm going to be adding some, I'm going to use a lot of much lighter colors than I usually do. I've been trying to be mindful about the values that I use, because I feel like I've been a lot of my artworks, I feel like the shadows are a bit too dark and it's hard to see. I've been having to go back and color correct some of my artworks even, so that I can actually see what's going on. And I didn't need to end up doing that here, because I was able to work with my values right and make it so that nothing is too dark or too bright. And for the rendering as well, I do something a little different. I actually add glow layers on top of all the other layers, including the line art layer. This makes it look even softer and more glowy than I feel like if it was just unclipped to the main base coloring layer, like the shading layers are. And yeah, I almost forgot to add a hatching shading as well. Don't want to forget to do that. So I was working on doing the hatching shading while coloring the rest of the line art. Yeah, and this whole piece was so fun to do. The background was super simple. I wanted to add some planets and stuff, because I imagine this piece also to be space themed, because to me, space and being non-binary go hand in hand. That was just a me thing. Again, this is all my interpretation of being non-binary, but I don't know, space, it just seems like a very non-binary thing to me. You ever look at those pictures, wallpaper pictures of beautiful stars or beautiful galaxies, and get a little bit of gender envy, or is that just me? It might just be me. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say for this piece. You're gonna see me add a lot more glitters, a lot more sparkles later on. You're gonna watch me add a lot of very soft looking clouds, even around the character themselves. You're gonna see a lot more fun particles being added, but I feel like I can let the rest of this play out and sort of speak for itself. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll talk to you at the end. with that, that was pretty much it for this artwork. You're gonna see me add some more, like a little bit of post coloration stuff, just a tiny bit, just a little bit, but not much. Yeah, like I said, this artwork was so fun to work on. It's one of my favorites of this year so far, even though it is like a bit more simple than a lot of the artworks I've worked on. It's not like super simple, because it was basically like a character design and artwork in one video, but I love how it turned out. Let me know what you thought of it, or if you have any other questions regarding the speed paint that or the art process that I didn't go over. And yeah, I have the normal stuff. I have my Dysterious shirts and my comic on my Etsy store. I have my Kara account in the description below, as well as my Artful account. You can also subscribe to here, because this is actually the place where I actually post my artworks the most. But if you want to get like a sneak peek of my artworks, or if you just want like a higher quality of my artworks, you can go to my Kara or my Instagram, if you still want to use Instagram for whatever reason. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!